that you said you were going to do for the price that you said you were going to do it at. Now, if he would have came to me and just said, you know what, Jen, I messed up. I lowballed you.
Too low.
Let's figure out how we can get this done.
Do you think they would have been giving you this much problems if you were a male?
No, absolutely not. I think he thought he was going to get over. He was upset because he did send me a text message talking about some when he got upset when I asked him just give me the key back because I'm tired of going back and forth. Weeks and weeks are passing. They put caulk around a vent instead of putting a vent cover over the vent. And the vents were exposed and open as they cut wood and everything, scrape paint all throughout the house, which is a big no-no. I'm not a contractor, and I know that doesn't make any sense, you know.
It's the big question that I have that we were talking about. Did you give them money up front?
I gave them. So what we did was I gave them a deposit to start. Then when they got halfway through,
like how much are we talking about? Since you already told us the total price.
So I gave him the initial was like $4,500 to start
on a 12,500 job.
Correct.
That was quote. Okay.
Correct.
So that's a lot of money right there.
Right.
Go ahead.
So then after that, they were like, "Oh, well, we ran out of money. We got to get wood, you know, for the porch and all this other stuff." Come to find out, I come back to the property. All the old wood that was there, they used. They didn't buy new wood.
Wow.
They used all the wood that was already there, cut it, and drilled holes in it and put it up there.
So did you have to find somebody else to come out and fix?
Well, actually, I didn't.
Or did they do it?
No. They didn't do it. I still haven't talked to him to this day. He blocked me. He tried to air me out on social media about me and my project and how I didn't want to spend the money when I had the money to spend for the 27. Because if I didn't have the 27, I wouldn't have even bought the property, you know, from the city. You can't buy a property from the city and not have the money to show that you have the money to fix it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The other thing is, how did you learn anything from this? Like, how could you have avoided this? This is a big problem that happens. Contractors ripping people off. And we were talking about this, and what are some different ways that you can actually avoid?
First of all, don't pick anybody you know. I'm not going through that. No.
Well,
no. Because then you're gonna have sympathy.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say their defense
because I'm a kind-hearted person, and I fall into to the trap of like
excuses,
giving people a chance to prove themselves and
help out your people.
Go
ahead.
Were you totally? Would you say you had enough knowledge to know what the scope of work entailed and what it cost, and then so when you saw their pricing versus what you knew had to happen, it's kind of like maybe a little inexperience played a factor.
I definitely agree.
That's what I think
on that, and I think because I knew that he was a very successful business person, that he wouldn't do such a thing to me, and that he's walking around flashing all this money, carrying purses around his waist, and
purses around his waist.
That's the fashion
like
thing.
The fanny pack,
where's Mario's now?
I mean, he's got all these diamonds and all this other stuff, flashing it all over. So I just didn't foresee
social proof
that he would do such a thing, especially with so petty, and you're such $1 million, and you get what I'm saying.
I totally agree with you. I kind of I feel exactly where you come, because everything you said made sense. It wasn't like you just.
And I'm like, okay, and I trusted him, and he's out here in the public. You get what I'm saying? And
he's not like hiding somewhere.
Exactly. So I didn't see him doing such a thing and not keeping his word of what he said to me. I don't even care about the money. I know how to make money. I can make money any day. You get what I'm saying?
Give me some money. I want some money.
The problem is the character. I cannot respect a person who does not own up to bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, and as a man.
Yeah.
As a man, you need to do what you're supposed to do.
Anybody, man, woman, kids
so
get away with it.
How do you get around that? Like I we talking about that, and I said, hey, if you got a job, you break it up into 20. When you do 25% of the job, I'll pay you 25% of your money.
Right.
Or you can do it. You do 50% of the job, I'll pay you 50% of your money, or 25, 25, 25. But break up the job to where they produce, and as soon as they do 25%, you give them the money, and make them come off the money first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so that way you're kind of both protected in that form. And I didn't make that up. I heard that from somebody else. But I worried about that. I was like, man, I can't just give somebody 25 G's and then they walk away.
Absolutely.
Which a lot of contractors do that.
They do.
But at the same time, like, I know both sides. Like the contracts they've been screwed over as well. So it's like,
dude, you got to protect yourself. Let them figure it out, man.
They're in the business. They're in business. You're not in the business.
I mean, if you get a haircut, and do
houses?
you pay for it before you get the haircut?
nah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you pay
You pay after you get 25% of the job. Obviously, the job still needs to be done. I'm not gonna just. Not only that, they have a way of protecting themselves by putting liens against the title, the property.
Right.
Yeah.
In
Yeah, that is
Houston-
true.
They
That's
can
true.
put a lien against your property, so you can't sell it. So they're already protected.
In Houston, there's a lot of like people that are not here legally, like that are
Dude,
coming.
Yeah.
stop it, man. Like, dude, I mean, are you in business? Which side are you? Are you a
No, I'm,
contractor?
I'm trying to defend it because
I know. I actually appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Our sheetrock guy.
Why you got to
Yeah.
point at me? Because I'm Mexican?
Oh man, he Mexican too. Tell him
I'm
I'm
half
Mexican.
Mexican.
I'm half Mexican. I
I'm
can
half
talk about
He
Mexican.
said
Mexican.
all sheetrock guys. I don't even know how to do
I said
shit.
all.
Dude,
I said all
dude,
sheetrock
my
guy.
best friend is Mexican. No, I'm just
Oh
kidding.
my goodness.
I'm
It's
half
a joke.
Mexican.
It's a joke. It's a
I'm half
joke.
Mexican. Shout out
Good.
to my mom. Our sheetrock guy, right?
Yeah.
Our sheetrock guy, like he's like uncle to me, man.
Yeah.
He's held it down for
Oh,
the last
yeah.
couple of years.
Okay, yeah. I know what you're
He
talking
got screwed over like a couple of months ago. Basically, he didn't.
about. the job
he-
at Humble.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he worked Monday through Saturday, and the guy wanted him to work that Sunday, and he takes Sunday off because he, for religious beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was like, "Hey Daniel," he wrote him this big old text message like, "Hey Daniel," like, I just said his name.
It don't matter. You didn't say his last
No,
name.
because he's like cheap and real good, so I don't want people to know. Who
No,
he is.
I mean, you didn't say his last name.
So he's
Go ahead.
like, "Hey Daniel,"
There's there's a kajillion
Go ahead.
Daniels.
Go ahead.
he's like, "Hey Daniel, like I'm very saddened that you didn't come Sunday. You went. You're like now you're behind schedule. I had like a set date where I wanted to finish this. Blase. I'm only paying you half of when." And it told him what he was gonna do before he spread
Lean.
the picture.
Lean.
Well, he probably didn't have a contract.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, whose
So
fault
it's
is
like-
that?
Yeah,
You're a
no,
bad
it's
business
his fault.
person.
It's his fault.
Like, dude, you're a bad
Yeah.
business person. I mean, you're gonna get screwed over. And
Yeah.
I mean, should you feel sorry for somebody that doesn't know how to protect themselves in business?
I mean, that's
dude,
that's my dude. That's
everything's
my dude,
doing on.
man.
Yeah.
You can't do stuff with a handshake anymore.
No,
It
you
seems
can't.
like
You
it,
can't.
dude.
No, he right. You can't.
So-
you can't. But
It's hard.
I understand
It is what
totally
it
what
is.
you're saying,
It's
but
hard.
are you
You
gonna be a businessman,
you
or are
have
you
to
gonna
have,
be?
you have to have a relationship with that person,
Yeah.
and this is your 30th house,
Right.
and you say, okay, hey, look, here's what it costs. Boom, boom. Thanks. You know me. I know you. We're good to go.
Yeah.
But even then, you should still have a contract.
Dude, because I mean, so what could happen potentially, even if it's your friend? A lot of people are bad at managing money, and what they do is they'll take your money and work on another project.
They
Yeah.
do that
It's
all
not.
the
It's not they're
time.
trying to screw
No,
you
no, no,
over.
they-
They
I-
do it on accident. But what you put,
I just got did
They
like
don't
that
do no accident.
last week.
huh?
There ain't no
they
accident.
ain't no
I'm
accident.
trying
It
to
ain't no
play
accident.
both sides too.
It
I'm
ain't no
not a
accident.
contractor, dude.
You know what I thought about?
Yeah.
Next time, why don't you, or why don't I? I'm gonna give the contractor a credit card. I'm gonna say all the material goes on here.
Right.
If you want to separate your job by material versus labor,
That's a good idea.
all the material goes on here.
That does make sense.
I like
And
that.
Home Depot has an electronic receipt, so you
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
like,
can.
you can go to all the charges.
That's true.
I told you we could put our minds together and solve this problem.
Yeah,
See?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
what.
that's what they were doing too. They were always like what I would call and check to see if like, oh, they went to another job because he was trying to get a job done, and they weren't there working, and they had to go finish another job, and it was just one thing after the next. And when I got these new people in here, the quality of work just is terrible. Like they took the what do you they didn't even put
Vents.
no. So in the
Sheetrock.
bathroom, around the tub,
Tile.
they put like a vinyl thing up there. It wasn't even tile, but we had to take it down because it wasn't even up there evenly. And then there were all kind of like mud. And then they put, what do you put in the tub? And it's white.
Caulking.
Yes. And they did that around the whole drain of the tub. It just was crazy. And so when they took it down, the pipes where the water would come out for the shower was not even connected or stabilized onto the wood. It was just wobbling.
Shaking.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they had to put the.
So then when they took it down, it just fell out.
I-
So it's just
you-
like,
yeah,
what
you had-
in
you
the
had- yeah,
world
you had
did
to
he
fire them.
think?
You would have, if you knew better, you would have fired them
A long time ago,
and you
right.
would have just left the 4800
And been done.
Yep.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people can't do that sometimes. Like she got a. Maybe she was in a position where they needed to work for that 4800, and then you could go and then Cause like I've done that a couple of times where I'll just cut my losses,
Right.
and I'll be like, look, I was about to pay this guy $800 more. Can you do this for $800 more? Because I already gave him $1,200, and they'll be like, okay. So
it's stressful. Like it's stressful worrying about like rehabs and flips because, like, I still say you have to go with the people who you've had relationships with and use them. Like I switched out. I tried to switch out a cabinet guy and a tile guy this time, and then I really didn't like the work. Like it was okay, and the cabinet guy, I went back on my original cabinet guy who I always use to build cabinets, and his work is, you don't have to second guess it.
Guess it, right?
And then
why did you decide to go with the other people?
price.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
cheaper.
Yeah,
Cheaper?
and so it goes back to my same MO. Just pay full price.
Just pay.
Man. Just pay. Just pay.
And that's what I said
Yeah.
too. If I would have known that the quality was going to be that way, and he was going to run off and do
Or
all
the
that stuff,
professionalism.
and the lack of professionalism, because you don't tell me that I'm not your girl. You're not effing me. You're not going to treat it if I pay him or go buy the stuff, he'll get it. But what did you do with my $20,000? He has not given me one receipt to show me what new he bought to put into that house.
Yeah.
Not one. That's because he used
Just
all
angry,
his
not
leftover
one.
materials that he had from all other projects,
Yeah,
supposedly,
yeah.
and he used whatever he had left over and brought it right over to that place.
I told you that.
A really good contractor will give you references and
That's
take
what
you to a job that they're currently working on.
He'll have money in the bank,
Yeah.
so where
Yeah.
like you could
12.5 should be nothing.
He's
to him.
Thank
that's
you.
what I'm saying. He's gonna, you know what I'm saying, but he's gonna
Yeah.
have money in the bank, so that if you say 25% or 50% of the
Right.
job, it's not gonna be a big deal for him.
I'm not even a contractor, right? I'm not even a contractor, and I rehabbed a friend of ours' house. They got flooded during
okay.
Hurricane Harvey. I didn't ask for money up front.
See?
Zero. I said, I'm going to spend what I spend in a week. I'll give you the receipts.
There you go.
Put it on a spreadsheet. Whatever I spent, you reimburse me.
That's it. How hard is that?
Did I spend 10, 12 G's in the week? Yeah. I'm not even doing it for profit.
Right.
But so anybody who's in the business
Right.
should be able to be like, hey, I tell you what, it's 12.5. We'll be done in 3 weeks. Just pay us when it's done.
So yeah, I mean, it was a definite learning experience for me. So I am definitely going to be doing my research. I'm going to definitely try to keep my emotions and feelings and, personal,
Oh, yeah.
All right.
The groups, the real estate groups that are there in the area, they should be able to give you some good.
That
Yeah,
is
I
a
just
But
started-
be careful of those guys too.
Yeah.
Because a friend of mine just did that. I mean, it's not the contract didn't do him dirty.
What happened? What happened?
No, I just feel like that.
You talking about Steve-O?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
my
the
goodness.
contractor, I think he didn't do like if you and then this is I'm talking to my buddy and this is out of his mouth. I say, would you use him again on the next job? He says no.
No.
Right, and so this guy came highly recommended by a group that you pay to be a part of.
Oh.
So I'm like, where's the value in that?
So what
You know?
did he do? What did he do?
He just, they cut a couple corners. Like when I saw the pictures, I was like, if I'm spending $20,000 on a rehab of a house that's 1,200 square feet, it better be nice.
Oh, it better.
You know what I mean? I better see some new cabinets, not paint my old ones. I better see some nice tile floor. I don't want linoleum because you're
see-through paint.
Yeah,
Because that's
you're-
how you can see you can see through.
you're
the paint.
paying $30 a square foot. At that rate, you should be able to rehab the house
Oh, no.
the way it's supposed to. Yeah, do the math.
I do $1.75 a square.
No,
foot.
no. It's impossible, Mario.
You said $1.75.
No,
Right.
no. I'm
30,
talking about
30.
Mario. When you think about, let's say you think about any house you
I'm
renovate.
talking for like tiling.
No,
tiling
yeah.
laminate.
But I'm saying $30 a square foot
To
is,
figure out the
is
rehab cost,
what the
right.
whole rehab
Oh.
costs.
Yeah, the rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
$1.75. Oh man, you ain't paying him nothing. No wonder you.
Working.
yeah.
Hey.
So
Like,
at
alright.
that price, you're supposed to
Wait
get
till y'all see my house.
everything.
It's
You
gonna be on
you
here.
should have everything new.
Yeah.
So if somebody's gonna charge you that much money,
Right.
it should be new.
Right.
I think that was
Baseboard too.
a good idea. What you said
And we
is
paid that.
start joining the RIAs or whatever, the
Right.
real estate investment associations.
Okay.
And start coming up with a game plan of like what types of real estate. Because I think if you're just buying real estate and you're not buying the right types of real estate, what happens is you might win on cash flow because you're getting cash flow, right?
Right.
The problem is sometimes when you go and buy these cheap properties, you miss out on appreciation.
Right.
Right, because and that doesn't provide you with what you call an exit plan. You always have to have an exit plan. Like if I don't want this property anymore, I can just sell it like that.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
so which
Do you have equity in the houses?
Yes, all of them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are they like? Let's say the townhouse.
Oh.
What's it valued at?
Like
let's say
45.
Oh, so that's perfect.
So
that's where you get your that's where you get your net worth from.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he just asked about that. How much equity you have in that? And that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about the bird method.
Mm-hmm.
You buy the property.
Mm-hmm.
You rehab the property.
Mm-hmm.
You rent it out. And then you refinance the money out of the property, and you go buy more property.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
if you needed your money, you could refinance out. And
Exactly.
Right.
So she's got a lot of money.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just joking.
I'm broke. It's a joke.
Refinance the
I
money
need
out.
that $20K back.
But if you need it,
refinance it out and get your $20K back and go buy some more property, or put it back in your business.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you can
put
do
it
that
back
too,
in your
yeah.
business, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I would probably consider that.
Right.
Because you're no longer using your capital.
Right.
exactly. Exactly.
Hey, tell him about the CPA. The CPA you told me about.
What?
The one that was doing your taxes.
Oh, that ran off?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So this lady who's been doing my taxes for years had been, oh, my God, fine, working well, got my business, and she was going to be doing my taxes that first year that my business needed to be, done. So my business taxes needed to be done. So I reached out to her, gave her all my stuff. She just disappeared. I paid her. She said she filed. I called the IRS because for some odd reason or another, I was trying to enroll into like child support, the court system, because, with employees that have child support orders, you have to, take the child support and stuff out of their check. They, for some reason, couldn't find me like in the system on the database or something. So they told me to call the IRS. So when I called the IRS, it wasn't even for the tax reason, but they ended up telling me that they didn't have any taxes on file for my business being filed for 2016. And I'm like, how is that possible?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, no one. I said, well, she said I didn't owe anything, da-da-da-da-da. And she was like, well, how do we know you don't owe anything if nothing was submitted? And I said, what do you mean she didn't submit anything? Like for 2 years, and still to this day, I still have not gotten back any of my documents, nothing. And she ran off. And then she said she certified mailed me my paperwork. And then when I finally talked to her again, she said, well, where are you? How did you certify mail them to me if you're going to bring them to me?
Man,
yeah,
I'm not moving to Milwaukee.
So she's out here riding around in a Benz. She just went and bought a Benz and all this other stuff.
They're
like
hustling.
These people, I don't understand what is going on with these people.
Man.
And our people make us look so bad. It's just so terrible.
Hustling.
Oh,
So how much?
She was like, well, how old are you?
Old enough.
Asking questions just like, you got my social security number, my date of birth. Like, what the?
She didn't even look.
Every day
I didn't look at it. I
hustling,
just collect
hustle,
checks.
Hustle.
It's
Apparently,
real
right?
crazy. And
Everybody's
she
got
said
to
she filed
hustle.
this. So I'm like, okay. And, I got, $1,000 back from, like, my personal.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's nothing but.
What-
So I assume she filed
Well,
them.
how much did she charge you though? Like,
Oh, my God.
A lot?
A lot.
like what? A couple of $100? Like
No.
400, 400, 500, or
Couple
1,000.
thousand. Yeah,
Oh,
couple
really?
thousand.
Yes, like
Oh, my-
$2,000.
Two?
Man,
Yes.
I got two by
That's-
CPA.
I got
Yeah,
two.
I got two by CPA.
I got
And then the guy
I ain't
who's
never got yet.
been work, he
At
used
least
to
I
work
don't know
for,
yet.
He,
Go
the
ahead.
guy who works for the IRS,
Make
who
sure they
used to
file.
work for the IRS, right?
I don't care.
The guy who worked for the
What?
IRS.
I don't care.
He said, I don't care.
No, I don't.
So this past year,
They
I
don't
ran
deserve
into
my
this
money.
guy. He was he worked for the IRS actually and did
yeah.
taxes, and so he charged me not even. Oh my God, it was like a couple $100. And that was.
I
it.
know. That's what I'm
You know
saying. I
what?
pay like
That's
400.
That's exactly what happened to me. Like, Josh referred me to this lady.
Oh man, Josh.
Yeah.
He was like,
No,
what
she
did I
did- she
need to
did it.
do?
She
And I'm
did.
pretty good at keeping record. Like, I have everything on spreadsheets, like what I brought in that month. You get what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
very
yeah,
particular because
yeah.
I like to see it, too, because I want to know what numbers you're putting in, too, so I can have at least a general idea.
Man, Josh referred me to this lady. And she got me for $1,800.
1,800.
She
My
said-
bad, Mario.
She
Where
said,
y'all going?
She was good to me for a
Man.
while,
See?
and then
she
she
said,
Where
That's
y'all
what
food?
happened.
she said
to
she,
me.
she said she did a spreadsheet, and we're still asking her for the spreadsheet. She said she got all my receipts, everything.
Yeah. So
And then my new guy, he charged me $500, and he did the he did everything.
They gave you a little packet too,
And
right?
everything.
I got me a little
Everything.
packet.
That's
I
how
can
I
look
did
at
it.
it.
is
I
it
say
is it
1,300.
accurate?
Huh?
Is it accurate?
No,
Accurate.
dude, this dude, no, he's in real estate, so he hooked me
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
He hooked me up, and
That's
then
what's up.
I think you have an accounting nightmare, to be honest with you, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I know I do.
That's kind of messed up because isn't your wife an accountant?
she is.
I was just about to ask
No,
you.
but she doesn't do like taxes though, right?
Oh, that was one of the
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Should your wife be involved in your business?
Business.
Yeah.
That was on the list today,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, for real?
Ooh,
Yeah, you wanna do that?
Go ahead, Mario. Go ahead. Is your
Y'all
wife?
gonna put me on the spot like that?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think?
I'm gonna say.
I mean, there's a lot of ways you can answer that. Answer that question.
It depends
right?
what type of
Tread
relationship you guys have.
carefully.
Yeah.
Tread carefully.
It depends what type of relationship you got. Like I listen to her a lot, and I always put her advice into consideration.
There you go.
But at the end of the day, like I said before, it's my decision.
You the man of the house. Oh, sorry.
But
I'm
but,
gonna get so
hey,
much hate.
man, we've gone through World War III, 4, 5, you know, off of decisions.
Okay.
So I think for the piece of the house, I think it's better to not include your wife.
Oh, I didn't know
piece
you
of
were gonna go
house.
that. I didn't know you were gonna go that route.
I think for other
Yeah.
people, I mean,
Yeah.
she's already
I
like
agree.
Oh.
partial owner, so
Yeah.
like, it's nothing I could do no more.
She-
Right.
So she gets
she
the
owns
check.
half
You
already.
work and she collects the check.
She owns half already.
Pretty
man.
much.
It doesn't matter.
She owns 25%.
No.
That's what
20
we put on the taxes. She owns 25%.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness,
So you gave her 25%.
that's not
Give her
half.
25%.
You married.
Is 25% half?
No, she's married, so
I know,
y'all
right?
married,
Technically.
So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
y'all get a
yeah,
divorce,
yeah.
she has half of everything you got.
Anyway.
I'm getting 75%.
All them houses
Dude,
you got, half of that's
dude,
hers.
75%. She
No.
get, that means she can get a
Hey,
house.
bro.
Nope.
You see that? That's evidence. Courthouse.
Yeah.
It's called the courthouse.
The courthouse.
Yeah.
He's been planning this. See this video right here? No, I'm just kidding.
She owns 25%.
Did you sign a prenup or something?
They don't do prenups in Texas. I don't think, right? That's
You can't
California.
hold up,
That's
yeah.
a California
That
thing.
is so funny.
Y'all trying to kill me right now. No, we did not do a prenup. No, we did not
You
do
didn't
a
have
prenup.
none when y'all got married. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I had 4 houses.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look at his face. No, I was on
I
it.
had-
Balling.
I had 5. I had 5. I just
Oh,
got
okay.
one.
My bad. My bad, dog. My bad.
Man, doing the most over here, man.
All right. My bad, bro.
So
Oh,
what's
that's
up with
No,
no?
no. So,
About to
So
get her.
funny.
no.
About to get her.
No,
Hey,
leave him alone. Leave him alone.
hey. So what do you think? Like with your business and everything, like if something happens to you, did you tell your wife to like, hey,
If I die today, she just should take my insurance money and run.
okay, so she should
So
sell the
I
business?
I would say sell it.
Oh,
Sell it to
okay.
what?
It's
Maybe
gonna.
sell it to one of your employees, or
No,
you
I
should give her
actually-
like advice or
No,
like
I did. I need to change up my will, but I would
You got a will?
partly.
should. If
Not
you
a-
got a
not a
kid,
update- up-to-date
no.
will.
If you got a,
I don't
if
know.
It's
you
not
got
up
a
to date.
family, you got a
Yeah.
wife and a son.
It's not up
you
to date.
definitely need
So-
to have a will.
I get a fairly large insurance policy, so I feel like
Yeah.
she would never have to work again.
Gotcha.
So if I would want this on record. I would want my friend Jonathan to, if she's gonna keep the company, to have him manage it.
Oh, for
Okay.
real?
And pay him.
Dang, so you got that much trust
He's
in Jonathan?
100% fair. Like
Wow.
if I tell Jonathan, 62% is mine, and if there's a way that even if he could conceal money from me, he would never say,
Okay.
what's yours is yours and mine is mine. He's the fairest guy.
Well, that's nice. You
Yeah.
have somebody.
So
you can
if
say
if
that
she ever
about.
wanted to keep the company,
Yeah.
then I would have him manage it and pay a salary to him, and she let it grow, let it keep
Oh, that's
growing.
live.
Right.
If she wanted to sell it, I would say have him still negotiate all that stuff and sell it to somebody. He might buy it, and and let her do her thing. She just can't get married
Nice.
again.
How involved? Yeah. How involved is she in your business right now? Like,
I
how
don't
much do you
like
tell
to
her?
let her get involved.
You don't want to stress her out, or
No, well,
what?
yeah, because I get stressed out, and then I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about work at 7:00 at night
Yeah.
and stuff
Right.
like that. Now I bounce
So-
ideas.
So who do you
like
vent to? Who do you vent to?
everybody? Everybody, yeah.
Everybody
I
but her.
bounce ideas off everybody. Like like right now in the middle, trying to figure out what kind of truck to buy. What do you
Yeah.
think? Should I buy this? Buy
Yeah.
the Ford or buy the Toyota? And so I get input from everybody. I feel like you should. And then so I don't like to necessarily have her involved because women, especially my wife, they're emotional decision makers.
Yeah.
And so
That's
like
That's what I tell her.
and
That's-
yeah, and I tell my wife, I said, this is a business. It's not emotional.
I
It's-
agree with that.
It's
That's
it's
me.
logical, and like I'm a logical thinker. Like it's hard for me to converse with somebody and you say something. I take it literally.
Okay.
Like, you know, if you say something to me and the question is not phrased right, I get upset. Like, how am I supposed to answer that? You didn't put the proper why on it or something. You know, so like that's how we get into our arguments. You know, she'll give me her input and I say that's emotional thinking. You know, like you can't make the decision on this because you thinking about us and our personal finances and our personal home. And I said all this stuff is this is business. So you gotta have guts of steel in a sense. Like just do it. Like you know. And she's not a risk taker. Zero risk taker.
Okay.
I am. I throw it all on the line.
Me too.
Yeah, I roll that dice quick.
Yeah. Bitcoin.
Yeah. But I'm not a big as risk taker like a Mario. Mario's like, hey.
Yeah, I'm a risk taker too. I would say I'm a risk taker. But I do feel like that I need to work on like making decisions based off emotions again. Like that's something.
You said based off emotion or logic?
Not based off emotion.
Not based off emotion.
Yeah. I agree.
So like, you know, even in that process of you trying to get the house fixed right, you want the guy to come through.
I do.
Like you gave him probably 30 chances.
Oh my God, so many chances to prove himself. And when he put that caulk around that vent, I just was like, oh.
Chance number 2, I shut the doors. I board him up.
Oh, do you?
You can't come in anymore.
Yeah. I changed the locks and everything. Like
what your contractor didn't come into work one day.
He didn't come to work too
because his car broke down or something. I'd be like, you done? You fired? Homie?
Man, I called everybody in my phone. I was this close. I was like he got his granite job taken from him, but he was this close to getting the tile done. But I felt like it was gonna end up costing me about the same. I wasn't really gonna save money,
right?
So I think the only reason why I let him make it is because he did such a good job with the laminate.
Okay.
And my dad was saying that he did a really good job. Other than that, because he had to put this door, he took this door off, and then he didn't put the corner bead around the laminate. He didn't finish that, so that would have cost me another couple of $100.
Yeah.
Right.
Other than that, he was done. Like I don't play those games at all. If you don't show up, you done.
Is your fiance is he into real estate?
He's not, but he will be.
Because
I am.
He will be.
He will be.
Well, he's gonna own 3 houses.
Yes, he is. Well, he
better be.
Well,
you know what's funny? We had a conversation on the way here. We was talking about if they divorce,
what's gonna happen? Yeah.
Well, he got 1.5 houses.
Yep. So pretty much. Look.
But getting that inheritance.
Yeah.
But, you know, I really bought that house for him, you know, because he had really worked hard trying to save that house before it got taken over by the city. But their family, you know how family is when they have a death in the family. People can't agree on things and get behind in taxes. And, you know, no one was living in it. So it kind of just was there. And no one wanted to give it to him.
Is that an emotional decision? Your girl buys you a house to make you feel
Oh
better?
my God.
Make you feel better?
I mean,
you know what? Hey, but it's not bad, though.
I'd have looked at it.
You got equity. You got equity, girl.
You know,
y'all
that was a
too
good.
funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to charge you.
If y'all, I was going to say something bad. I better be quiet.
He's going to have to make some payments to you.
I've been like, yeah, if y'all break up, who gets the house?
And it ain't money. So anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Anyhow. Yeah.
All right.
No, but see, my grandma, my grandma who's passed away, her house went to auction because of back taxes. And I thought about buying it, but it didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense.
Where was it at?
6 Cross Timbers in Jensen.
Was it paid off?
Yeah, I mean, it's taxes were like $70,000. I thought the house was worth like 20.
Wow.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
That didn't make sense.
I was like, let that thing go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
You didn't think like try to get in the auction?
It went too high.
Oh, so you was there?
Yeah, no. I forgot. They told me what it went for, but it was too expensive. Yeah. So somebody knocked it almost
down?
redid it. Like they kept part of it, but they knocked a lot of it down. And
okay.
you drive by it, it's not the same house anymore. It's got stone in the front now.
Oh, okay.
So, but you know,
nice. You were thinking about a book, possibly.
Yes, possibly. Yeah. So I don't know. I just been through quite a bit, you know, my life, my journey. A lot of people probably wouldn't think that I would be where I am at today. So I overcame a lot of obstacles, you know.
obstacles. She got me earlier.
Right. I have, you know, trials, tribulations, life, and I don't know. I just want to reach out to other people that I know there are quite a few people have
Exactly.
experienced some of the same milestones that I have, that they can see that, you know, you don't have to use your past as a crutch.
Exactly.
You know, you can really be determined and disciplined to want more and better for yourself.
Or driven.
And very driven.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm definitely very driven. I'm like, and you know, I didn't see myself like taking this turn or this path 100%, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like amazing to me just to look back on my life.
You
just
never
to see.
thought you would be here, business owner, real
Exactly.
estate owner.
Exactly.
And then on my podcast now.
No.
Oh,
Oh, man.
my God.
No, I would like. I've always said the two things that you need to be able to learn things, learn how to learn things, and you need discipline. Without either one of these things, you're gonna be struggling.
Real.
Like if you could be smart as hell, but you ain't got no discipline. You can't
Right.
show up to the job on time.
Exactly.
You think you're too smart, so you don't have to read that book.
Or half
But,
stepping.
yeah.
You know, you have.
There's a book for that. It's called well, not a book. It's a theory. Is you're one skill away from wealth.
Oh.
Great wealth.
Oh, really?
You could be like a really good doctor, but know jack about having your own practice.
Right.
You could be a really smart guy and not have the doctor part.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
like you're one skill away from wealth. Like most best-selling authors, book writers, they're a good storyteller. They got a good thing, but they can't sell their book.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like that sales skill is missing. So
Right.
you know, there's some people who have all the ideas in the world, but then can't
right.
execute
Can't-
them.
that's
You know,
true.
so
Uh-huh.
there's a small group of people that possess all the skills.
Right.
Take it how you want it.
But
So,
that's-
go
go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, well, tell them about the flip, like your.
Oh yeah, you do a flip, right?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
doing a
so
flip
I
right now.
just recently got a property. It's a pretty nice property. It's 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. Paid a little over 20-something thousand for it.
Cash.
Yeah, cash.
Oh, I like that.
So
Because that's a problem.
right,
Like if you can't purchase the property cash, well, one is it's hard to find a $20-something house here.
right.
So most properties are going to be in the 80s to 120s if you get into entry level flip.
Right.
So that's part of a hurdle for most people is how do I acquire the property
Exactly.
if I don't have
the
cash?
Exactly.
So go ahead.
So, and that was another thing too. So when I was listening to you guys speak on the podcast about, you know, private lenders and, you know, stuff like that.
Hard money.
Hard money, yeah, loans
It's
and things
expensive.
of that. But it's expensive. So then I'm like, okay, now do I want to start tapping in where I'm like dwindling down my cash flow, you know, that I have coming in and stuff like that. So, but I was able to actually purchase the property. So now I'm about to figure out who's going to be the contractor. So I'm going through a few people to get different bids and quotes. I had somebody tell me that it's going to take somewhere between 25 to 30,000, and I'm hoping to sell it for a little over 100. So
That's good money. Yeah,
That's
good
real
deal.
good.
So
Wow. $25,000.
You have those other properties that are the leverage
yeah,
for cash flow. So like, just get a line of credit on one of them.
I know, and that's what I was thinking too. And you guys have taught me quite a bit. Like I really have been listening.
Yeah,
and
not
so,
you don't have to get a loan because
Right.
because you get the loan, then you have to pay it
Pay
all
it,
monthly. If you
exactly.
get a line of credit,
You
And
do
then,
the,
like,
do
so-
this. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
So your mind frame right now is like you're trying to figure out if you're gonna get a hard money loan for the rehab
or yes, because I don't want to take that large lump sum out of my cash flow. You know, and so
nobody does.
I'm just trying to figure
I
out.
think what he just said, to get a line of credit.
Right.
That is refinance. That can give you the cash, and then you can put it back.
Yeah,
I think-
Borrow
And
from
you
your
go
prop-
through the banks for that line of
The
credit.
refinance.
there's no.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's private
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
money
really?
for that
Yeah,
line
yeah.
of credit or the bank. The bank's the cheapest route
Right.
because if the property has equity, that's their guarantee.
Right.
Yeah.
that-
If you don't pay it
you could
back,
probably
they
have-
take the
They
property.
take the property.
Yeah,
right.
you can probably have shoddy credit and still have
Right.
a line of credit because of the property.
Got
so,
you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yep, I've been working on my credit and stuff too. So my credit is
Do you-
really good.
Do you have your properties in an LLC? Or
Yes.
they all under your name? Okay,
all
good.
in the LLC?
Good.
Yes.
One,
Great.
just one LLC?
Yes, I just have
okay.
one. Is that good? Bad?
No, I don't know. I'm uneducated in this that realm.
There's
but
so
some people
many
say
different sto-
some
it's- yeah.
people say an LLC per property.
Yeah.
Oh.
you know,
Yeah, the reason why they said it is because like if one of your tenants tries to sue you, then you could just close the LLC.
Okay.
You're limited to
Okay.
you're limited to whatever that one LLC has in assets.
Okay, I got you.
So like if I sued, so here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bad part is I can sue you for something you did in your professional career.
Okay.
Like in the healthcare industry.
Right.
And if you're attached to that LLC, then that's part of your worth.
Okay.
I can go after that.
Got you.
Right? So you want as much separation
as possible
between your entities and you.
Okay.
I would look. I've heard so many different answers on that thing right there. I know one of these groups they don't get LLCs because the LLCs start to be costly because you got to every year.
Cost.
Yeah, if you got like 10 LLCs, it can be costly per year, right? So what they do is they just insure the hell out of the property, and they get an umbrella policy. It's a lot cheaper. So they get an umbrella policy. They don't have LLC. So if you sue them, their umbrella policy will pay for it. But some people, like you said, will do what you were talking about, getting the LLCs, and they'll put maybe 2 or 3 properties in.
Yeah, you group them together.
Or one. But a lot of lawyers make a lot of money off that, so they'll tell you all day, do it.
Yeah, because they want to say, that's $1,400 for that LLC, $1,200 for that one.
Okay.
So you got to find someone who knows how to structure that. It's not going to charge you an arm and a leg.
Right.
And then you can start my advice is again, I'm not a pro at this.
Right.
But my advice would be to maybe even create a management company.
Okay.
That owns the LLCs.
Oh yeah, that makes
sense.
And
you're not even an employee.
That's right.
You own the management company.
Right.
And so if they ever try to sue you, they have to go through 2 or 3 levels.
Gotcha.
It doesn't never touch you.
That's smart.
There's even more sophisticated ways. Like if you don't want people to know that you own property, you can put your stuff in land trust. Which that's what I'm kind of learning about. Land trust is even like but that's even not even a lot of real estate lawyers. Kind of you got to go to the right lawyers for that one. But
so there's a lot.
There's so much stuff out there.
You can depreciate your properties and like where you don't really pay any tax on that stuff.
Oh wow.
You can pay your management company can pay you like a $10,000 salary or something.
Wow.
Whatever it is you feel like you need in your personal income to keep
nice.
rolling. So there's a lot of stuff you can do.
Cool.
Get you some good mentors.
I
mean,
know,
I would
obviously.
there's a lot of stuff out there. There's I was watching this lady, Alicia Cox, and on YouTube, and man, the way she explains getting properties, no money doing, just your credit. It's just good. I mean, like you can acquire properties literally with no credit and no money by doing subject to deals.
Oh yeah.
Subject to deals or lease options. So I like the way she explains it. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
I would keep doing what you're doing. If you could find properties that are in the 20s and 30s all day long, just buy them and hold them. My grandfather lived in Detroit for a long time, and he told me at some point he had like 27 houses.
See?
Yeah, the same way, just buy them 20,000, 20,000,
Yeah.
20,000.
When
I don't
you
know where
get
he got
it,
his
it's just
20,000.
like,
I'm like,
He won't tell me that.
He won't tell you that part, huh?
He's a little gangster.
Yeah.
He's got tattoos all over the place. Yeah, my grandpa. But he's not a gangster. Like he don't portray himself that way. I mean, he's tatted up everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, if you see him, you would think, oh, he's an old school gangster that went to the penitentiary sometime. But he never did.
But his tenants paid up though.
He don't own none of that anymore.
Oh, I bet they did when they were. But like, all right.
No, something happened. He had to burn out of there. He left everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Yeah. I would also say, like with the real estate, possibly you might consider, like, if you don't want to deal with that no more, like some exit strategies, like, well, what if I acquire like 20 properties or 10 properties and it gets too much? Well, you might consider a management company to like run your properties and stuff like that, or maybe. I mean, of course, they're going to take a pretty chunk away, but you're not going to be dealing with the headache.
Now, do you guys pay property managers to like collect your rent and like make sure that they're cutting?
They don't, like a lot of groups, they'll say don't do it, you know what I'm saying? But it depends on how detached you don't want to be from the business. Like if you totally do not want to be, like you hate real estate, I'll tell people, like, why don't you have a manager? I know I was talking to this lady this morning, and she was like, man, I couldn't collect the rent. They were telling me stories. I was like, obviously you're not equipped to like be a manager. Why don't you just hire? She's having her own medical problems too. I was like, why don't you just hire somebody to do it? She's like,
how many properties she have?
She has a like a commercial property.
Oh.
Okay.
It's just one, and she's trying. they telling me the tenants haven't paid in a couple of months, and she's taking them to court. She's suing them for $12,000. I was like, what did you do? Like, she was like, she wasn't really collecting the money. She was letting them tell them too many stories. You know what I'm saying? Some people are professional.
Do you guys screen your tenants? Like, how thoroughly do you guys screen your tenants?
I tell Mario all the time, go to hire a professional real estate.
We do the background checks, and we make sure like there's no drug charges and
yeah, you
gotta.
Like they got a company that you can go to online that will screen for you. Like, you don't know what to look for. I don't know what to look for. They know all the stuff that you should be looking for.
They always say to look for like if somebody is back on the child support, and if they haven't paid like the taxes, like if they haven't paid those two things, and you're not gonna get your rent. That's what they tell me at the
their taxes.
Yeah, the taxes.
On child support.
Why?
Child support and taxes.
Back pay, like back child support.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get your money if they don't pay their child support taxes.
That's what they said.
I can believe it.
Who said that?
I can believe it.
The seminars I go to.
I'm sounding like I got kids. Who said that? The
I'm
guy.
next month.
I pay my taxes, okay, guys.
He's behind on child support.
That was one time. One time.
You got kids, bro?
No.
No, he's a kid. Well, this has been a good.
I know I'm like defending, but I was like, who said that though? But no, I don't know the exact things you should be like looking for. I know that perfect people that have perfect credit
ain't renting.
They not renting.
No, they can.
Yeah.
They can.
But majority
they might not be in a situation
you might
to
be
buy.
right. Yeah.
Millennials don't want to rent, so they can have perfect credit.
No, they don't
want to
purchase.
They don't want to purchase.
They don't want a mortgage.
Okay, so they do want to rent.
They want to be. Yeah, they want to be able to pick up and leave.
But they don't want to live in the hood.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so you got to have a renter in a rental house in a nice area. So, and that's gonna attract them to you. So,
most of my houses in the hood, but
there's nothing wrong with that. Somebody's got to own it.
Yeah, I had to start somewhere. I started there, and I'm working my way up. So I'm kind of like the place that I'm actually going to flip. That's why I chose it, is because the area is kind of like where, there's working class. Mostly all homeowners are in the area and stuff like that.
That's what you want. That's what you want. You want to be able to sell it.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
Anything you want to promote? Or your Instagram or anything, or just, any words of wisdom, anything.
I don't know. I'm a pretty private person when it comes to my. You sure you don't want a couple of stalkers? No.
Just to make your.
What about your book? Like, do you have a name for that yet?
No, I haven't really decided about the name of the book, because I'm trying to figure out if it's going to be more of a biography, you know what I'm saying, or if I want to take it another route and kind of make it third person, you get what I'm saying, type situation. I'm debating about that.
So if you're private, how you gonna promote your book?
I am gonna promote the book, but that doesn't necessarily mean I have to tell them, oh, this is all about me.
Okay,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out if I want to go as deep as I know I can.
Okay.
And if I do decide to do it on that level, how am I going to approach that?
Well, based on what I know about you, I'll buy your book.
You will buy my book? Really? Aww.
No, we're supposed to get a free copy.
I know, right? I'll sign it. Look, and give it to you for free.
We got to support. You got to support.
Yeah, sure. I do support. I still buy music.
No, I do too. I got Drake's album.
Yeah.
You did? Yeah. So, no, I just want to say that, I would really appreciate, if men stop looking at women as if they can't be dominant in a, industry, in a career field, or being an entrepreneur, a business person, a boss, or whatever, however you want to define it.
A boss.
Because just as much as they feel like they are dominant and they have what it takes, we do too. And just because I don't boast and brag about what it is that I'm doing and what I have going on, because I got it going on, that don't mean that you need to know about it. You know what I'm saying? And when we approach it, it's not to say, oh, I got this, and this. I really am trying to do business, and you know how many potential business relationships that could be very successful, they mess up because they kind of look down upon us.
Don't take it serious.
And don't take it serious. I hate that. It really bothers me.
Man, I told you from the beginning, when you were asking me questions, you need, a male front, whether you have them as your manager in real estate, because these contractors, I've seen it in person. Like they look at women like
I
all
think
right.
learn more about the game, and when you start talking like what you were saying, it's 30 foot. $30 per square foot. Once you start learning the game,
not just with real estate. I'm just speaking about in general.
Well, but once you see somebody's pretty sophisticated, then you're not gonna be. You're kind of back off. Not just because somebody's a woman.
Right.
You kind of assume maybe because she's a woman, maybe she's attractive. She don't know what she's talking about until the words come out of their mouth.
Right.
And so you start talking knowledgeable. So
I don't want to be all up in your mix.
Yeah.
What does your fiance do?
Oh man!
I'm going somewhere with this.
Why did you
what
ask that?
field? What field? I don't.
Yeah, is he in the medical field? No,
He's not in the medical field.
Okay, so
no.
that he needs to be in your real estate business,
Right, pretty much.
Yeah.
And we discussed that. Me and
Yeah.
Mario had a long conversation about that as well. So it's not that he's not, but he's just not available or around at the moment to be a part of it, to like make stuff happen.
Gotcha.
But when he is, he will.
Yeah.
He
Good.
will.
Yeah.
He will.
Good. All right, that's all I had.
Yeah.
I wasn't going nowhere.
I know. I figured
Right.
somebody was gonna say it. I was just waiting for it to come.
Nah,
No. I just wanted.
He like I said, like as soon as everything coexisting happens, just he's gonna be there so that
Right.
we just tell him what to do and he's just gonna make it happen.
Right.
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mario playing dad.
Aw.
And then your little boy, y'all can pass it on to him. That'd be great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Where is it with?
Good. Well, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep it up. Keep buying more.
Thank you.
We'll follow you on Instagram if you let us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. At Jenna Keeper. You guys can follow me.
Jenna
But-
Keeper.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a private account. Right?
Yep, it's private.
All right. Well, good. That's a wrap up the show.
It's a great
The
show.
Real Estate Guru podcast show. Mario, where do people follow you? And we want to tell everybody, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the little bell to make the little thumbs up go.
Mario, do you buy houses?
I buy houses,
Buy 'em houses cash?
cash.
All right.
So
And she does too.
So give Mario the opportunity to look at anything you may have.
So I might go out to Milwaukee, man. Like 10,000.
Yeah. So all you gotta do is get a manager.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hire you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
anyway,
told. That's what I was telling your wife.
Sure.
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Good. So that's gonna wrap the show up, folks. We will see y'all next week. Real Estate Guru podcast. We are out.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, bye.